Hello, hello! Perfidious Pete here, freshly flipped ass over tea kettle by some rug-tugging aliens in XCOM: The Long War. And no, rug-tugging is not some weird euphemism for female masturbation, though it could be. But in this case, the aliens have literally pulled the rug out from under our feet in the last mission we went on, sending fully half our team to the infirmary with some unbelievable sectoid sniping. And before you ask, no, sectoid sniping is also not a euphemism for jacking it, though again, it easily could be. For example, you hear someone say, "Pardon me a moment, just gonna nip off to the bog for a tick and snipe the old sectoid." And don't ask me why I suddenly became British when I said that, because honestly, I have no idea. What I do know, however, is that it's going to be at least a couple weeks before our troopers are back in action. A lot of folks visiting the hospital, but since I'm British now, I feel compelled to face the situation with good old-fashioned stoicism and a stiff upper lip. A little bit of, righto then, let's just kip up to control, pop off a few derbies, and get ourselves another mission. Oh, and while we're down here in the barracks looking at the wounded, perhaps we should promote that chap in the cruise who did a fine job on our last bit out. And that's just exactly what we're going to do, and I apologize to anyone who speaks in such a fashion. Received pronunciation, of course, considered the most prestigious dialect of the English language, and I have butchered it like Jack the Ripper cutting up a hooker in Whitechapel. To coin a phrase or two. Anyway, Mohammed the Cruz does need a promotion. Of course, we already signed him a job. We took a little bit of a hit on that one, and we bit the bullet, and we made Necruz a Rocketeer, despite the fact that I am not overly fond of Rocketeers. That being said, I think he may have potential as an archer. And as I look at the guy, sort of a clean-cut features, good sharp look about him, looks like a chap who knows what's what. While I'm going full-on British, apparently. I'm considering expatriating, so get ready, UK. I'm coming across the pond, man. I'm coming at you. But, this is the kind of guy who would have been found working hard on the Manhattan Project. And in fact, specifically, this guy worked on the Manhattan Project. We're looking at J. Robert Oppenheimer here. So we're just going to go with J. Robert. Old Oppenheimer himself. He has become death, destroyer of worlds, folks. Or at least that's kind of our hope, that unlike every Rocketeer we've had previous to Mr. Oppenheimer, who has failed to destroy much of anything with any of their explosives, we're hoping old J. Robert here can crack the planet if the need arises. So, welcome aboard, old Robbie. I hope you get a chance to put those explosives of yours to good work. And I gotta say, that actually looks pretty sweet, just hanging on your back right there. It does look much more dangerous than it is. Maybe we can use its intimidation factor to keep the aliens at bay. Gonna have to hope that much at least will pan out for us. In the meantime, it's up to mission control. We're gonna kip up here and grab ourselves a mission, and now I can't decide whether I'm British, Australian, or perhaps just being slowly strangled to death by Jack the Ripper. South Africa wants weapon fragments. We have 32 weapon fragments. For those weapon fragments, they are willing to give us precisely 1 engineer. Now, I know engineers are actually considerably more difficult to come by these days. They're somewhat precious, and a bit of a choke point when it comes to developing new technologies. A lot of the Foundry projects are restricted by number of engineers, and we're not currently getting any engineers monthly either as a result of council funding, mostly because Optimus Prime is a dickface and won't send me what we need, but that's a whole different ball of worms, honestly. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm comfortable with accepting it. We'll give him, we'll accede to that request and get back to scanning. We do get 2 scopes done in a couple days. Thermo generator coming online in 3. How long till that satellite is done? Only 5 days. So we could be theoretically advancing to a new continent here before the end of this episode. Scopes are done. Margaret Thatcher back on duty for the Empire. There's somebody who knows what a stiff upper lip is right there. Old Maggie T. Ah, crikey, Steve Owens back in action. That's fantastic, mate. Alright, so we got another abduction mission. Honestly, you know what? The abduction mission here is not a bad draw for us, since I think all of our interceptors are out of action for the foreseeable future because we had to shoot down 2 medium UFOs back to back.
Commander, we've picked up multiple requests for assistance.
Multiple.
Abductions in progress are marked on the hologram.
You know, we really gotta hire the Count from Sesame Street for a little bit of remedial training with old Bradford there. Just, you know, we're just gonna put him down in a room with the Count and the puppeteer. Of course, he could hide under the desk. Bradford will never notice he's that drunk. But put him in the room with the Count and just have the Count over and over go, 1 abduction! 1 abduction! until Bradford is either able to count to 1 or unbelievably, completely, and totally insane. One of those two things is going to happen. Probably the insanity, but having him learn to successfully count to 1 would definitely be a boon for the XCOM project. So what do we want to send on this mission? I think probably Lance Corporal Steve, and we could send 4 assaults on a mission. That fills me with a sort of unholy glee, actually. I really like the idea of sending 4 assaults. We could send 4 assaults, a sniper, and Margaret Thatcher. I really like that, actually. That would... you know what? That would leave us without an assault for our next mission, though. Alright, we're going crazy here. Let's go crazy! Like a shitty Prince song. That's exactly what we're going to do. So we are going to take a sniper, and I think it's time that we give old Helen Keller a chance here. I've kind of been a little hesitant to deploy her into battle because, of course, as you can tell by her completely vacant stare, I mean, it's more empty than Kristen Stewart's, but in Helen Keller's defense, you know, her eyes don't work. Kristen Stewart's stare is vacant and blank because there's nothing inside of her brain case. That's patently not true with Helen Keller. Still, I gotta admit, I've been holding Helen back a bit because I'm a little worried about her safety. I mean, this is a serious liability risk at the least. You gotta give me that. But I think it's time we give Helen a chance to shine. I think it's time we take that bushel off of her candle. We're not going to hide it any longer. We're going to let it shine forward. So Helen Keller, maiden voyage of the Helen Keller. She's going into battle, folks. Let's see how she does. Oh, you know what? We can give Helen Keller a scope, actually. Yeah, I said it, folks. I did indeed say that we could give Helen Keller a scope. We're going to assume that this scope has some kind of alternative feedback mechanism other than simply just visual indicators to target ranges and things like that. We're going to say this has got some kind of haptic feedback, you know, sort of like your cell phone when you punch a button, it gives that little tingle that lets you know that something's happening. We're going to assume that's why this took Dr. Shen so goddamn long to build. This is specifically designed for Helen, and the haptic feedback on it is going to make her one of our deadliest snipers. Only she is able to master that capacity. Everybody else just uses as a refracting lens. Pathetic chumps with relying on their stupid vision. Helen knows exactly how to take full advantage of it. We're also going to send Maggie T because I like gunners and I like having them on missions. Also, Maggie T has holo targeting, which is extremely useful. Laser sight and a flashbang. I think we're going to trade this flashbang in for a battle scanner. We got a lot of long-range firepower here, and if we can get battle scanners out to take advantage of it, that would suit me just fine. Probably going to take Louis Pasteur as well. Again, I'm a fan of the engineer as well. Do love me some engineers. We're going to give Louis a shotgun, however. Gonna have a lot of shotgun on this mission. It's mostly going to be Helen and Maggie with the long-range firepower, and then everything else is going to be close-quarters knife-fighting range distance. So we're going to go battle scanner, and we're going to grab some flashbangs just to make sure we have opportunities to close fully to those close-quarters combat distances. Also, we got to give Maggie T a scope. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? I got scopes now. I got to remember to use them. Scope for Maggie T. We're going to get rid of that battle scanner and go for the laser sight. Want Maggie to have as much bumped up aim as she can get. But as I'm looking at it, I'm actually very seriously considering having Maggie swap over for the LMG. Having her go for the long range, and then she and Helen can stay back as our long range fires. You know what? I think that's the right move. That's, I think, better than the LMG. We're going for the squad sight, holo targeting. That's going to be Maggie T. So we got team long range, and then we're going to have team knife fight with Louis Pasteur, sort of as the flexible piece in the center. Do I really want to take 3 assault troopers on this mission? Answer, yeah, I absolutely do. It's going to be Eleanor Roosevelt. The ruse here. She looks good. Battle scanner, let's get rid of that laser sight, actually, Eleanor. Probably not going to need that. We're going to give you a med kit just in case somebody goes down. It's not going to hurt to have at least one person on the team capable of stabilizing. In fact, I think we'll double up on that. We're going to take Thurgood Marshall along. He's going to have exactly the same loadout. Attack armor, shoddy. Swap that laser sight for a battle scanner. Plenty of battle scanners here so that we're not just willy-nilly sending our assault troopers in where angels would fear to tread. We're going to have the place well scouted, and also opportunities for squad sight shots for Helen and Miss Thatcher. Yeah, let's get the Rough Rider in this too. We're going all out, guys. This is one of the craziest team assortments we've used since the beginning of our campaign, but I gotta say, I feel good about it. I do. I feel good. I feel good. James Brown would not approve of me. I don't know why James Brown would approve of me. Probably because I'm a pathetic chump who spends a lot of time playing video games, and he was a ladies' man. And, you know, I'm wildly successful and whatnot. I'm sure he would be thoroughly disappointed in me, but that's beside the point. I don't live for the approval of James Brown. Also, I think he might be dead, so it's really sort of pointless. Anyway, let's get to work here. That's our team. It's probably terrible. This may be one of the worst ideas I've ever had. But then again, it could be the single greatest idea in the history of XCOM. We really won't know until we play this one out. Operation Frozen Tears. Are you shitting me? We just did this map.
Still picking up transmissions indicating
Our last mission was on this same piece of dog shit map that I hate. This is what I get for complimenting XCOM for having a better map rotation in Build 15. Clearly, that's a complete load of horseshit. We've done this map now. This is the... Actually, I think this is the third time in like 4 abduction missions that we've had this map. And the only fucking frozen tears that are going to be on this one are my tears. And they're going to be bitter, bitter tears. Because I have a feeling that things are going to go badly for us. Both times we've done this map, we've wound up with troopers injured, if not dead. I don't think we've lost... No, we only lost one guy so far, and it wasn't on this map. But we have not had good luck raiding this map. On the plus side, this is a very interesting drop zone. We have never come in at it from this angle. And this gives us an opportunity to kind of fucking hoist the aliens on their own petard here. This time, we're going to be the ones who have the cover. This time, we're going to be the ones who take advantage. So let's try and secure the area around this statue, and I'm not going to pull any punches. We're going straight on. We're going to get the battle scanner out first. If I can secure this whole back area, I can take the strong cover positions and just sweep my way forward. Alright, so we got 3 thin men. Those thin men are not active. If we set this up perfectly, we could have 3 assault troopers run over there and just run and gun all of them. Oh, that's so sexy. I like it. That's our plan, folks. That's exactly what we're going to try and do. Alright, so if we didn't pop the pod there, we should not pop the pod with any of our subsequent movement. We do want to try and get Maggie in a position where she's going to have a shot. We're going to have her go ahead and dash this turn. Similar situation for Helen Keller, although Helen Keller can be even more conservative with her firing spot. We're going to put little Helen K right there. We're going to have her steady her weapon so that next turn she is as ready as possible to deliver as much damage as she can. We're going to send the old Rough Rider forward, and backing him up is going to be Supreme Justice Thurgood Marshall. He's about to hand out a little bit of fucking justice right here on this shit. Those floaters should not be popped. I'm calling full-on bullshit on that one. Full-on, complete, and total bullshit. However, again, on the plus side, man, Helen Keller is not going to have a shot, and Maggie only has 1 shot. It is a pretty good shot, though, and I'm going to take it. So, of course, that was well off the mark. Helen Keller has a shot. She should have 1 shot at the guy we just holo-targeted. She does not. This could take him down, though. Take the shot, Helen. Come on. Oh, yes. And I'd just like to point out, folks, they made fun of me when I promoted a sniper who was both blind and deaf. But all I have to say right now, folks, who's laughing now, motherfuckers? Huh? Who's laughing now?
That's what we're looking for.
That's right. Helen Keller's goddamn the one laughing now. I really want to get a battle scanner down here before I do anything fucking stupid. I don't want to just charge down there. You know what? Fuck it. We can do this. Thurgood Marshall, I'm trusting your judgment, sir. Which, I mean, as a Supreme Court Justice, if I had to pick somebody's judgment to trust, you seemed like the right cat for the job, but I'm going to trust your judgment, Thurgood. I'm going to trust that you can get this done and that you will not put your penis in my butt. Please don't fuck me. Alright, so we got the flank. This, well, that's a guaranteed kill. So is that, actually. Well, we're going to take this one. Did not actually get to kill Thurgood Marshall, so I can't help but feel at least slightly rectally violated on that one. Gotta say, I'm feeling a little butthurt, buddy. A little butthurt. But that's okay. There's more run and gun where that came from. We've got more than enough for this shit biscuit. We're going to have Eleanor Roosevelt come down there and put the final fucking thump on his ass. This is not going to end well for you, sir. Not even a little. Not even at all. The floater number 2 is down. Now, we could have Teddy sweep around and poke that guy. We can... Man, I'm looking at a lot of, like, butt sex references. Should really, probably, maybe check that impulse at least slightly. He is flanked. He is still flanked. Pasteur, what do you got? 27%. is not good enough. Let's get... Yeah, we're going to have to run and gun with Theo as well. I don't like this, and Theo Huxtable... Man, I'm telling you, Dr. Huxtable would be having some serious words with me at this point, but we should be okay. There we go. Nice critical. Even got to overkill, and then we're just going to put Louis on Overwatch as a result then. We got more floaters coming in. Now, we don't have as much run and gun this time as we had last time, but we should still have Helen Keller with a squad sight shot? Nope. So, what do we do here then? We're not going to have quality shots. Not even... no, we have next to nothing. I think the right move here is to just get the hell out of Dodge. We've got the speed on our side. We should really just try and capitalize on it. Let's do it. We're going high mobility, high speed. Let's capitalize. That is the... Oh, Thurgood Marshall, my friend. You're lucky that you are a Supreme Court Justice and that clearly you are, well, chosen by the people to have better judgment than I do, because you picked the stupidest fucking possible path there. If you had popped a pod, it would have been all over for some of our trustworthy team members there. But that's okay. Everybody's going to fall back here. We're getting to safety. Going to make these floaters come to us. If they want to tangle, they're going to have to come tangle with us in our house. That's right. We're going to dig in like a fucking swollen-ass tick. We're going to blow it up with blood and make these bitches come get some.
Okay, survey the zone.
How best to do that? They should not be able to flank Margaret Thatcher from their current position. So we're going to have Maggie go on Overwatch and Helen Keller steady the weapon or Overwatch. I think probably steadying her weapon is the better bet. The aliens will try to make sure that we have vision on at least one of those units, so we should have opportunities for squad side. Yeah, that's okay. So Margaret Thatcher's going to open up. Maggie T thumping, putting those guys down like they are an austerity measure for council estate residents. This guy's shooting at whom? Louis Pasteur. You gotta be shitting me. Wow. Alright, so that was a whole load of nonsense. And now the thin men have gotten into the act, although they've fallen back as a result. Still, I have to admit to more than a little saltiness about the whole Louis Pasteur thing. Margaret Thatcher has one not fantastic shot, but we're still going to take it because she can maintain full cover and do some damage as well. It's not really what we were hoping for, but Helen Keller's going to close this out. I have every confidence at us, guys. Yeah, I'm telling you, Helen Keller, she can't be denied. The woman is an unstoppable fucking force of nature. Sure, everybody made fun of us. Oh, you can't have Helen Keller on your team. You know, just because she's differently abled, she's going to be a terrible, terrible choice. But those guys were wrong, man. Helen Keller has fired 2 shots, and she has killed 2 of our alien foes. Helen Keller is not to be trifled with. She won't stand for that shit. It's nonsense. She won't have anybody saying anything negative about her. We can't heal Louis Pasteur. You got to hunker down, Lou. We really can't afford to risk your life. We do have thin men over here, so it...
That's affirmative.
What kind of shot have you got? Yeah, it's not good enough. We're just going to put you right back where you were, Eleanor. And we'll let these floaters... If they want to tangle with us, we're going to make them come get it. It's a Selena Gomez song. Once again, my favorite and only Selena Gomez reference. When you're ready, come get it, alien punks, alien punks. When you're ready, come and get it, alien punks, alien punks. Mostly because Margaret Thatcher's gonna shoot you in the head. Nah, till you're all dead. Maggie T's gonna whack you with her giant gun, yeah. Or if not, possibly Helen Keller. Alright, Helen, go 3 for 3. Prove them all wrong. Now, you know what, Helen Keller? Even our greatest marksman would have had difficulty with that shot, so I can't fault you. I really don't like our position here. Only Louis Pasteur can see the enemy. I say we just... let's get him to full cover. If we put him in full cover, though, and try and hunker down, that's just going to guarantee somebody gets acid spit all over them. We're just going to hunker in place. I don't like hunkering in half cover, but it's got to be done. And once all of our engineers and assaults are back on full overwatch, or back on full run and gun here, we can charge out if the need arises. And so that shot missed. If he gets hit while hunkered down, I'm going to be supremely salty. Saltier than a supreme pizza, in fact. Alright, so Louis still doing his thing. Spotting for us, and that's fine. We'll let him spot all day as long as we can keep having Maggie Thatcher and Helen Keller do our long-range dirty work for us. This is working out fine. We don't have a problem with this. We'll let them keep pounding. Keep thumping, keep working them, guys. Even after hollow targeting, you're still 46%, huh? Alright then. Oh, look at this. Helen Keller. Unbelievable, folks. She even knew he was dead. You know how she knew he was dead? Because Helen Keller senses are so fucking powerful, she could hear his heart stop from that distance. Helen Keller was not fooled, folks. She has the keenest senses since fucking Daredevil. Who do you think taught Daredevil the ropes? Goddamn Helen Keller. Daredevil is, in fact, a little bit of historical fiction based on the life of Helen. You gotta be shitting me with that, right? An enemy we couldn't even see hit us. How is that shit working, by the way? Somebody please explain that. We couldn't even see that enemy, so he definitely couldn't see us, and yet we still got hit. Yeah. Okay. So this is how you're gonna play it, huh, XCOM? All right then.
On my way.
We're gonna reposition. Oh, you gotta be shitting me. Overwatch? Well, that hit. Fuck. So Margaret Thatcher is critically wounded. Thurgood Marshall is the only person I think who has a med kit. He's got to get over there.
Got it.
This has come completely off the rails, folks. Getting shot by invisible enemies, total bullshit, and yet here we are. So we got to get over there to stabilize Margaret Thatcher. Suddenly we can see these guys because of Margaret Thatcher's corpse. How the hell does that make sense? Oh, my saltiness. On the plus side, though, Helen Keller is handing out fucking deadly beatdowns like nobody's business. It's really pretty goddamn ridiculous what Helen Keller is doing to the enemy. We gotta go for it. We can't afford to fucking lay back anymore. There should be no Overwatch left because we've killed everybody. Except for those two guys, one of whom is, of course, on Overwatch. That's okay, though. This guy is definitely dead. There we go. Man, I'm real salty. I'm real salty about some of the hits we took here. We got shot by an enemy that couldn't even see us. That is nothing less than complete and total fucking horseshit.
Let's do this.
I still think we're going to come out of it okay, though. Our complete assault package has paid off. The assault troopers have been getting shit done for us. And there we go. Alright, so a critical wound from Margaret Thatcher, which is very unfortunate. That's going to reduce Margaret Thatcher's will. And I gotta say, with the reduction in willpower, I'm not sure if Margaret is going to have the intestinal fortitude that she needs when it comes to taking on and denationalizing some, you know, national interest. I mean, who's going to bust up British Petroleum if Maggie Thatcher isn't there to sell it off and privatize it? I don't know, folks. I don't know. It's going to be a grim future, but sometimes a grim future is the only future that's available, and you just got to fucking step up and seize it and make it your own. Clearly, I mean, that's the Margaret Thatcher lesson. She certainly seized a grim future and made it her own. She grabbed that shit with both hands and absolutely refused to let go. So Maggie was only gravely wounded? She was not critically wounded? How does that work? Can we look? No, I was going to say, I would like to look at Margaret Thatcher's. I want to go look at her stats and see what her willpower is. I legitimately am curious here. I have to note that Louis Pasteur got 22 days in the hospital. Thurgood Marshall, of course, also took an unfortunate wounding. I'm salty. Still salty. I mean, you're going to have... It's better to have injuries than deaths, but I don't really want either. If I'm being completely sanguine. We also only got 3 meld. Probably should have gone for that meld canister, but we sort of dilly-dallied behind that bus for all the fucking good it did us. Yeah, going full Billy Bob Thornton sling blade on it. Yeah, dilly-dallied behind the bus. Probably should have just run out and split the heads open with the blade of my lawnmower, but I was eating French fried potatoes behind the bus. It's real good. Anyway, 80 credits. Panic in India decreased. We're going to swing by. Don't fucking touch me, Optimus Prime. We've had this discussion many occasions. The restraining order is still in full effect. In fact, I'm having a judge bump you back to 1,000 meters, buddy. I don't want to do it, but you're forcing my hand. Can't help but notice that also we didn't get in a promotion for Helen Keller, despite the fact that she may be the deadliest human in XCOM. 4 kills on that mission. Unbelievable performance from Helen Keller. And let that be a lesson to anybody who doubted her abilities. She is a fucking beast. A goddamn beast is what she is. Let's take a look at Maggie's will. Yeah, it's down to 22. So Margaret Thatcher clearly has suffered the willpower reduction for suffering a critical wound. That's may prove to eventually be a problem in the long run, but the odds of Maggie T even surviving to have that be a legitimate concern are fairly slim in all honesty. And worst case scenario, we could always chop her into a Goliath, because I very much like Goliaths as well. So maybe there's a silver lining. Who knows? Only time's gonna tell on that one. But the one thing we will not require time to tell us here is that we are all wrapped up, and I'm going to go ahead and get things taken care of. So, if you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. Your support really does mean a lot to us, especially on Season 2 here. I got to say, support's been fantastic, and I really want to thank everybody for the positive feedback. If you'd like to see more XCOM, of course, we post videos daily. Consider subscribing as well. Catch every single one. For now, however, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you again soon.